Hello, Google 102 participants. Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at Google Basics Drawings Part 1. As I was delving into this, it needs more than one part. This is what we're going to be looking over. For Part 1, we're going to be doing just a general overview of Google Drawing. Then you guys are going to learn how to create a new drawing, adjust the page setup, and insert objects. And there's a lot to insert. Part 2, we're going to be doing some other things next time. Go ahead and take a moment to read this meme. As I'm looking on Twitter and learning about how students are using Google Docs, they're finding fun ways to use it for creating memes and characters and other things. And this is a quick video I wanted to show you by my friend Alice Keeler. And this is, she talks about how to design a custom Google Classroom header. Now, if you're using Canvas, you could do the same thing for Canvas. Check this out.
In Google Classroom, you can easily change the theme by clicking on Select Theme and choosing one of many new options of themes, or you can make your own by choosing Upload Photo. Now, if you want a template, go to In Google Classroom, you can easily change the theme by clicking on Select Theme and choosing one of many new options of themes, or you can make your own by choosing Upload Photo. Now, if you want a template, go to alicekeeler.com/gcheader, make a copy, and you're able to design your Google header right here. So I like to take my Bitmoji and drag it onto the header template. And I'm going to right click and choose background, change it to gradient, make it a little more fun. And I'm going to do it one more time and go to custom, and I can add color stops so that I can tie-dye my header. And then I want to file, download as PNG. This is going to download right into the download bar. I'm going to come over to the Google Classroom, and I can actually upload it right from the download bar in Chrome. So you notice that I can just drag it, and I'm going to need to reposition and expand out. For some reason it defaults to cropping, so you're going to have to make it fill the entire theme, and select the theme, and you'll notice it updates.
Now, she has a little bit more in that video, but I just wanted to give you a sneak peek into what's possible with Google Drawings. So let's explore Google Drawings. So when you create a drawing, this is what you see. This is your blank canvas or your blank drawing page. And look at the top left. You're going to see some familiar things that you saw in Google Docs. You see the title. Make sure you always title your drawing. You see the star, which is you can mark it in star and find it in your starred items in Drive. Can't really organize that. Just a big pile of starred things. Then if you click on that folder, you can see what folder this is in, and you can move your your drawing file within Drive. And then also, if you see that cloud check mark, that means it's been saved, and you can check on your doc status right there. Down below here in the top left, we see the drawings menus, and it's everything that drawings can do. And just like docs, there's 3 ways to perform a function. The slowest is using the menu, going up, clicking File, going down, selecting your function. The second, another less slow way is to use the icon. So you move your mouse up, click on the icon to do the function. The fastest way to do functions for my intermediate and advanced students, you guys are going to be learning keyboard shortcuts. So what's the name of this thing right here? What do we call that? Okay, hopefully you've made your guess. And what do we call this when we go to edit and then go to that function? What do we call that? Hopefully you have an answer. And what is this thing right here? Okay, let's see if you got it right. Icon on the left, This is a menu item, going to edit and then going to undo. That's going to the menu, and then Command Z on a MacBook or Control Z on a Chromebook or Windows is a shortcut to undo, and I use that multiple times every day. The next item is the Drawings toolbar. Now, you're going to notice that there's a lot less formatting tools because this is not a word processor. This is a drawing, a photo editor, or a graphic design tool. So you're going to see a little more shapes and lines, and you can place them anywhere on your blank paper or canvas. So it's a little more free form, and it gives you a creative edge over Google Drawings where you're kind of locked into sentences and lines and things like that. So I'm going to let you take a look at the drawing menu or the drawing toolbar and see if you can find something that looks a little unfamiliar to you. One or two things, and read about them. All right, hopefully you've been able to recognize or discover something new. The one thing I will point out is that this arrow right here, the select tool, you're going to have to switch back and forth from that. And that's how you select objects that are in drawing. But if you have the line selected and you try to click on an object, is it going to select it or draw a line? It's going to draw a line. So if you want to select things, you may have to go back and click on this select tool. Look at the top right. Those, again, are your collaboration tools. You have a drawings chat in there. I think that works. You also have an activity dashboard to see what activity has been going on. You have comment history, and you also have your shared settings and Google account. And then you have your sideline tools. You have a ruler on the top and on the left. Over here at the bottom right, I'm not exactly sure what this is, but notice how it has these horizontal lines, or diagonal lines. And if you grab that and drag it in, you can change the dimensions of your canvas or your drawing page. And then, of course, over here on the right side, there's something magical. Do you remember what those are called? This top one, what is that? And what about the middle one? What is that called? And what about this bottom one? Let's see if you're right. Boom, calendar on top, Google Keep, which is like a digital Post-its that Google created. It's amazing. I use it every day. My wife and I have a Google Keep that we collaborate on for our grocery list. While I'm on my way to the store, she's adding new things. When I get there, I'm checking them off, and she's adding new things. Amazing. And then, of course, this task, which is an unknown of Google Apps for many people. All right, so enough of the overview. Let's jump in the tasks. And again, the way we do this is I'm going to read through a list of directions. Then we are going to do it together. I'm going to walk you through those same directions and show you what it looks like with Google Drawings. Then I'm going to give you guys some time to do it on your own. Okay? Let's do this, people. So the very first thing we're going to do is we are going to create a new drawing. So I'm going to read these directions. You can look at this visual on the screen, and then we will do it, and then you will do it. So the first thing you want to do is open a new tab and type in drive.google.com. That's how you get to everything, like mail.google.com or docs.google.com or calendar. I could go on. When you get to Google Drive, click on that new button in the top left corner. Then you're going to go down, but you're not going to see Google Drawings. You see the docs, the sheets, the slides, the forms, but you're going to have to go down to more in order to see Google Drawings. Make sure you click on Google Drawings, add your title, and share it with who you want. So let's jump in and see what this looks like. So here I am in a new tab. I'm going to type in drive.google.com. Now, as I'm typing, I notice that Google already guessed what I'm going to type. Should I keep typing or let Google do the work? I'm going to let Google do the work. I haven't even finished typing drive.google.com, and I'm just going to press return. And it takes me right there. Alright, now that I'm in my drive, I'm going to click on the New button. Then I'm going to go down all the way to the bottom of this submenu to More. And then I need to go horizontally to the right. If I go off of that, I may go into a form, but you gotta stay on that gray highlighted section and then click on Google Drawings. And of course, the first thing we do when we create something in our drive is we want to label it. So I'm going to call this 2021.02.25 Google 101 Google Drawings Practice by Hans Tolman. I really filled up that title. In case I want to find any of that information, I can search it in my drive and find it. Now notice on the right hand side, look at that blue share button. Put your cursor over it. What does that say? It says private to only me. That means if I give this link to someone else, they cannot open it. They're going to see a screen that says, you don't have access. Click here to request access. If I want to have collaborators or other people to view this, I need to click on this every single time. So I'm going to click there. Now I can add my collaborators here, and I'm going to go ahead and send that. But also, I don't want just my collaborators. I don't want it just restricted to the people I've invited. I also want to change it to anyone with the link. Now if I was doing a big collaborative thing online, I could change it to everyone with the link can edit or comment, but I'm going to just keep it so everyone can view it. So if I send that link to anyone via email or my classroom, they will be able to view that document. So now you've learned how to create a new drawing. I'm going to give you a moment to pause this video, and again, you can pause this, you can rewind, you can rewatch, whatever you need, but for now, take some time to do this task on your own. Go ahead and pause the video right now. Alright, we are back, and next we are going to, now that we've created our document, we got to adjust this page and the dimensions. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go click on File at the top, go down to the bottom of that list where it says Page Setup. Then you're going to have this little tiny window open up that says Page Setup, and you need to choose your page dimensions. Do you want to do the standard 4:3, or do you want the widescreen 16:9? Well, I guess it's 4:3, 16:9, or widescreen 16:10. Or do you want to click on Custom to customize it to like a really long rectangle, like a banner for your Google Classroom or Canvas course? Or maybe you want something long, like a portrait. Or like you can even click on Custom and put in 8.5 inches by 11, so it's like a piece of paper that you could print out. Now remember, at the bottom corner of your Google drawing, you can drag that corner to change the dimensions. So, let's do it together. Go ahead and take a moment to find your drawing that you've created. Alright, hopefully you found your drawing. So, we are going to change the page setup, so I'm going to click on File in the top right corner. Go ahead and click on File. 3, 2, 1. Alright, now look down at the bottom of the menu. There's Print. Above that, there's Page Print Settings, and then there's Page Setup. So move your cursor down to Page Setup and then click. And there's that little window that pops up. You can either keep it to standard, or you can switch it to widescreen. But let's explore custom and see what we can do here. As you can see, I can change the inches. So if I wanted 8.5 by 11 inches, just like a piece of paper, I could apply that. Or I could even choose inches, centimeters, points, or pixels. So you can get very specific. And there's some things online that require a certain dimensions in pixels. They'll say like 500 pixels high by 1000 pixels wide. So you can change that in here under custom. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. Oh, and look at that. I've made my Google drawing into a piece of paper, 8.5 by 11. But now that I'm looking at it, I see there's all this empty space on the left and the right, and really I want my drawing to be more landscape. So what I can do is I can grab this bottom right corner and I can create whatever rectangle I want. Now I've created a landscape rectangle. I don't even know how many inches that is. I just kind of did it on the fly. So that's how you adjust your page setup. Go ahead and pause this video and adjust your page setup on your own. All right, we are back to it. This is going to take up the rest of our time. We are going to learn how to insert objects into Google Drawing. And there are a lot of things you can insert. So I'm just going to jump right in. I'm going to go fast through each of these portions because it's a little repetitive. But feel free to pause or go back or rewind. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can press the back arrow on your keyboard to go back 10 seconds. You can use the space bar to pause or play. And also it helps if you have a second device on the side so you can do this practice on the side while you're looking at the video. All right, enough of me rambling. Let's focus in. Insert object. Let's insert an image. You're going to click on the Insert menu, select Image, go over horizontally to that next submenu. Then you're either going to choose to upload from your computer or search the web for copyright-free images, or search your drive, or search your Google Photos, that's an app, or you can paste a URL of an image, or you can use your camera to take a picture of your face or something in the physical world. Wow, so many options. Let's do it together. So, here I am in my Google Drawing. Go ahead and find your way to your Google Drawing, and let's do this together. All right, hopefully you have it open. Now, go ahead and click on Insert. Move your cursor down to Image, go over to the right, and let's click Upload from your computer. If you're using a Chromebook, you may not have a lot of storage. If you have a PC or desktop or a Mac, you may be able to have what you're looking for. Either way, go ahead and try to open a photo from your computer. All right. Next, let's go back to Insert, Image. Now let's do Search from the web. Go ahead and take a minute to click on Insert, go down to Image, and then Search from the web. When you do that, you see this little panel pop up on the right side. Let's look at Google Memes. And then I see an interesting meme. Actually, not finding a lot of interesting things. These have all been designated. That looks kind of funny. I'm going to select and then go to Insert. That is amazing. I can make an amazing meme from that. I'm going to drag the corner of my image and bring it in. If you ever grab the side of your image and bring it in, see what happens? How do you undo that? Control what? Control Z. Undo. So if you drag it from the corners, it will keep the same ratio of dimension lengths and widths. All right, let's insert another one. Insert, Image. Let's go down to Drive. Do you have any images in your drive? Have you thought about saving images in your drive? I see a rocket ship. I'm going to insert that. Next, let's try going to Insert, Image, and go to Photos. Now, if you've never used Google Photos, you can explore that at photos.google.com. I don't have any here in this account, so I'm going to skip that step. And you can too, if you don't have anything. Go to Insert. Oh, and did you see what I did there? Instead of going to the menu, I clicked on this icon in the toolbar. It has a little square with, it looks like a mountain in it, looks like a picture. So I can click on that and have easier and quicker access. I can go to By URL. That means I could search online for an image, make sure it's copyright free, you have the license to use it, and then you open that image and look at its website location. You can copy that and paste that into this URL space. Insert image, camera. Now, some of you are like done with being on camera, like me, but here's what you can do with your camera. Sure, you can show your face and you can make a funny face or whatever, or you can show like a book that you're working on, or a journal, or notes, or something like that. You can show them something that you have in your office. This was made by Emiliano Rios from the Castle Art Lab. All sorts of stuff. Like you can, I don't know, anything that's physical. You can read a book or whatever. So you can insert any of that. Whew. All right. So now that I've shown you guys, okay, now that you've learned how to insert an image, I would like you to choose 3 types of images to insert on your own, either from your computer, the web, drive, photos, URL, or camera. So go ahead and take a moment to pause this video and explore this. All right, we are back. Now we're going to learn how to insert a text box. First, you're going to click Insert, then you go down to Text Box, and then you're going to, if you're using a trackpad, you may have to use 2 fingers to do this. You're going to click and hold with 1 finger, and then you're going to drag and make a rectangle with the other finger, and then you'll type your text. Let's try this. So here I am in my Google Docs. Oh, Jennifer said, any questions? Thanks, Jennifer. Recording the video now. Smiley face. Haunts. Enter. Okay. Collaboration. Isn't it amazing? So, here's what you do. You go to Insert, Text Box, and then you're going to click and drag the text box, and then you type your text. Jennifer Eggers is an awesome facilitator. Boom. So now that you've had a chance to see how to insert a text box and type some text, pause this video and take about 30 seconds to 1 minute to write a few words in your Google Drawing. All right, we are back. Now we are going to insert a shape, and this is expansive. This is where Google Drawings really shines, because when you insert a shape, you can change this shape in different ways. You can add a fill color, or a border color, a line color. You can make combinations or groups, or you can create whole pieces of art with these shapes. So let's learn how to do this. First, open your Google Drawing, click the Insert icon, go down to Shapes. Then you're going to choose whether you want to insert shapes, or arrows, or call-out bubbles, or equations if you're doing a math problem. And I have little images of these over here. Then, after you select one shape, you're going to click and drag out that shape like a rectangle. Let me show you what that looks like. Insert, shape. You can choose any of those. I went to shapes, I chose a triangle, then I clicked, and then I dragged down diagonally to make that shape. Let's watch it one last time. Triangle. Click with one finger, drag it out to make it bigger. So let's do that together right now. Aw, Hans Tolman is an amazing instructor. Thanks, Jennifer. I'm going to go to Insert, go to Shape. I can add any of these shapes here, or arrows, or callouts, or equations. I'm going to do a shape. And one of the shapes I saw earlier, maybe was it in callouts? Oh, there's a star. I want to draw that. So now I'm going to click and drag my star. Oh, that looks so horrible. Intermediates and advanced. Control Z, undo. This time, when you select your shape, before you draw it out, here's what I want you to do. I want you to hold the Shift button while you drag out your shape. Watch what happens. I'm holding Shift, I'm clicking, and I'm dragging. Whoa. It's a perfect, equally sided, equally wide, and equally high shape. It keeps it as a perfect shape, like a perfect circle or square, instead of a squashed or a short shape. So that is how you insert a shape. I'm going to shuffle these over here a little bit. Okay, go ahead and pause this video and practice inserting 2 or 3 shapes. All right, welcome back. We're going to insert a few more things. We are going to insert a table. This is very similar to Google Docs. You're going to click Insert, go down to Table, and then you're going to select your array of rows and columns. I'm going to jump in and show you this right now. So I'm going to click Insert. I'm going to go down to Table. I'm going to go over and choose however many rows and columns I want. I'm going to do 3 by 2. Click it, and then you have this table that you can drag. You can change how wide it is, change how tall it is, move it. Whenever you move something, make sure that you have that crosshairs for arrows. If you have like a cursor, that means you're going to add text. If you have something else like a side with 2 arrows, that means you're going to change the borders. So that's how you insert a table. Go ahead and pause this video and take a moment to insert one table. All right, welcome back. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to insert a chart. The way we do that is we click on Insert, Chart, and then we can choose between a bar graph, a column graph, a line graph, a pie graph, or if you've been using data in Google Sheets, you can even pull a chart that you've created in Google Sheets. So let's take a moment to do that. Oh, look at this pie chart I found on Google. Am I going to wake up early tomorrow? No is red. No, but in blue. Let's try this out. So here I am in my Google drawing. Whoa, it's getting crowded in here. Can I make this longer? Well, if I wanted to, well, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go to Insert, I'm going to go to Chart, and I'm going to do a pie chart. And there it is, a pie chart. Now, if you wanted to adjust this information, click on the pull-down menu and open the source. And what happens is it opens a Google Sheet where you can input your data and adjust your pie chart. So, oh, there it is. So you would just have to change the column and row information, and you can also change these if you double click on anything, or you can edit over here. All right, so now that you know how to insert a chart, go ahead and pause this video and choose one chart to input. You don't have to worry about changing any of the data. All right, people, welcome back. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to insert a diagram. And a diagram is like a thinking map, except a little more detailed and gives you kind of a structure to brainstorm and think out ideas. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on Insert, go down to Diagram, and then you get to choose between a grid type of diagram, hierarchy, timeline, process, relationship, or cycle. So let's see what this looks like. I'm going to go back to my Google. Oh, you know what? This is getting so crowded. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to press Control A to select all. This is for my intermediates and advanced. And if I could, you know what? I don't think I can select this table. Okay, everything except the table. Then I'm going to hold Shift while I take the corner and drag it towards the middle. This is going to make everything smaller in equal proportion. Now I have a little bit more space to work. All right, next we are going to insert a diagram. So go ahead and click on Insert, go to Diagram. You will see the diagram panel on the right side. Take a moment to click on each one, like the grid, and notice how you can choose the levels, the colors, and scroll down and see what options you have. Press the back arrow next to grid to choose something else. So whatever you want. I'm going to go with a cycle, and I'm going to change this color to something a little more Google Drawing, and then I'm going to just click on the one I want. And there is my diagram. Oh, looks like it fell out of pieces. You may have to draw a rectangle around it to move it and change the size. All right, go ahead and pause this video and take a moment to explore and insert one diagram. Try to find one that would be useful with your students or with your colleagues. And we're back. The next thing we're going to insert is word art. How fun is that? Maybe. Maybe it is. No judgment. Here's what you do. You click on Insert, go down to Word Art. Number 3, you're going to type your text and then press Enter. You can adjust the font, the color, the size, all sorts of things. You can rotate it. Just avoid being obnoxious. That's all I have to say about word art. Let me show you how to do it. I'm going up to Insert. I'm going down to Word Art. Then when I click on Word Art, I have this little rectangle that pops up. It says Enter to save. Use Shift Enter for multiple lines. Oh, nice. Word art can be great. Now it says hold Shift and Enter. So I'm going to hold down Shift and press Enter. Now I can do another line. But not all the time. That's kind of a downer. When I'm done, I press Enter, and there's my word art. I can drag it, I can rotate it, I can make it bigger, I can change the fill color of the text, I can change the line color, I can change the line thickness, and I can also change the font. There it is. All right. Go ahead and take a moment to insert 1 or 2 pieces of word art and make them fancy, but not obnoxious. All right. We are back, and now we're going to insert a line. Here's what you do. And lines are great for pointing at things, for connecting other shapes, lots of uses. So you're going to click on Insert, go down to Line, it's towards the bottom, but you have like 7 different lines to choose from. You can make a straight line, you can make an arrow, you can make an elbow connector. That means it kind of goes around things. You can make a curved connector, connecting one shape to another. You can make just a curve where you're drawing or tracing something. You can make a polyline. That means you can make straight lines, almost like dot to dot. Imagine dot to dot, you're making some type of trapezoid or something. And then when you go to the beginning, it makes it a solid shape and it fills the middle. So you can make all sorts of concave shapes with that tool. Then at the bottom, there's also Scribble, where you can just scribble freehand. So let's take a look at some of these lines. The way you insert a line is you go to Insert, go down to Line, and I'm going to start by choosing a straight line. Now, if I just click somewhere, it just puts a line that's diagonal, and I don't really get to choose where it goes, except where it clicks. So I'm going to press Ctrl-Z to undo that. Insert, line, straight line. But now, this time, I'm going to click and hold with one finger, and I'm going to drag with the other finger, because I want to do that. So I'm going to, and notice how these shapes get these purple dots. Those are like connection points. So I can click here, and then go over here to this shape, or this shape, and click here, or whatever I want. So there's a line. Now, after I create that line, I can decide on the line color. I can decide on the line thickness. I can decide if I want it solid or dotted or things like that. I can also choose what's at the end of each tip, if it's a dot or a square or an arrow. So the dot is over there, and then on this side I'm going to put an arrow. I really don't like this dotted line thing. I'm going to keep it solid. So I've just created array geometry users, and the only other thing I want to show you is the polyline, because I think this is really cool. So I'm going to insert one more line. It's going to be a polyline. So the way it works is you click one place, and then you draw a straight line. Then you click on another place, and the line continues. It's dot to dot. So you're imagining dots that you want to trace for a shape. So if I wanted to create a star, or maybe like the Star Trek symbol, like that little thing they wear on their shirt, I'm going to just click there, click there. But to end the polyline shape, you need to go to the exact beginning place where you started. Watch what happens when I end this polyline shape. 3, 2, 1, click. Whoa! Look at that. It's Star Wars. Now, if I want to select this, look at what happens. I tried to click on it, and I'm making another polyline. That's not what I wanted. You have to click on the select tool to get out of this line function. So I have to click on select, and now I can select objects without making another line. Okay, I've talked enough. Pause this video and take a moment to experiment with 3 or 4 types of lines in your Google drawing. All right, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the end of Google Drawing Basics Part 1. I hope you've learned something. For my intermediates and advanced, as we're going through these basics together, I want you to be thinking about how you can apply this to bigger projects and bigger things that you can do with Google Drawings. So be on the lookout for that. Until next time, thank you for watching. This is Hans Tolman, your Google 102 instructor. See you next time.